tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being judgmental because you're trying things, and they just want you to settle and do the right thing. So get a good job, don't slack off. Wake up every morning, make a good impression on your boss. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, and when you're making money, make sure you don't spend it too soon. Fuck that, I'll do what I wanna do. I got a different path from everyone, and that includes you. Who are you to tell me how to live life? In these times it feels like nobody's right, yeah. So I'ma figure out what else we succeed, and then invest all of my time into that and proceed. I need whatever the hell could make me happy, and I don't think you have a clue what could that be. They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Avengers Padawan build. This time I am going to show you the easiest and most effective way to get Kate Bishop ready for endgame content. And let me tell you, this build is a machine gun, and really all the pieces but one are on the offline vendor, so it's really easy to pick up. When it comes to stats, we're all about precision, but we try and get some Valor sorted in the gear pieces too, and then of course proficiency to make sure we get our crits. Resolve and resilience are also pretty useful, so be sure to keep a bit of it on your build if you change things up. If you can get a bit of extra defense, actually, this could be key, because the main disadvantage of the build is that we don't have any reactive healing going on, so we need to be a bit thrifty around it. For the melee slot, this piece is an actual beast. We get increased fire rate on our bow attacks, as well as a cold effect on signatures, gamma specifically, and the stats are awesome. This can be run even in max level builds, so be sure to grab it quick. Just start the game offline and head to the Substation 0 on the 27th of April of 2030, and Roy will get you covered. Unfortunately, we need to work for the range piece, because we want the technical set Exotic. This gives us extra damage and fire rate for Scattershot, and be sure to farm one with a warm status on Scattershot so we get some sweet battery. To get the piece you need to complete vaults. You can do it directly from the missions, but both the daily and weekly mission chains give you better chances. So my main advice is to store your save and then do the weekly, as you will get several drops that could be your piece. Then, if you don't like the drops, just reload and repeat. If you don't get this piece, a good starting point is running this offline piece with targeted invulnerability. You will get no battery damage, but you will all be all but immortal. 17th of April of 2030 on the Substation 0 again. The defense piece is just a stat stick, but the best one we can find, and we will get a bit of extra defense out of it, so be sure to grab this. You get Valor, Precision, Resilience, and on top of that, Reactive Protection, which might save you in more than one spot. Just hit the Substation again on April 10th of 2030, and be sure to have the time correctly, because this one is not a specialty piece and you need to have it right. In my case, this is at 4:30 PM on the London GMT +0 time. And the final piece of the puzzle is our heroic piece. You were all wondering why we did not have any targeted buff here, right? The answer is that we don't need it. This villain sector piece gives us both an extra warp arrow charge and Berserker buff, which is super easy to trigger because we have increased fire rate in both slots 1 and 2, so you're basically a machine gun. To get it, just hit the Helicarrier on the 21st of April of 2030, and be sure to refresh until it shows up on the third specialty spot, because as you know, the Helicarrier can be a bit tricky offline. When it comes to the ISOs, we just want precision, and the fast charge rate on Assault Heroics is a really nice extra. Once again, this is available on the Substation 0, this time on the 30th of July of 2026. And if you need to get both copies, just go to the day before or after, and you will be able to buy it again. Finally, the major artifact has to be the Northstone, so we get some extra time out of those Berserker buff triggers, and we also get a bunch more crits when we are buffed. Jumping into skills, and I will try to be fast here. For the support heroic, I like running Cover Fire for some support damage, but if you're struggling, feel free to use Quantum Field to get extra defense. We don't have many ways to get health back, so Healing Light is our best bet here for recovery, but if you're feeling brave, just use Probability Matrix for extra damage. On the Assault, the default will be Singularity to handle mobs properly, but in some areas of the raid, the Wormhole will be really useful for traversal of the whole team, and on the right hand side you just want an extra charge. For the ultimate, just make sure you do not pick the machine gun mode because it will lower your DPS quite a bit, and for max damage, Quantum Magnifier is the best option on the right. When it comes to mastery, I recommend running Shot Taker to make sure our signatures hit, but Air Juggler is always nice too. Then we definitely want extra damage on our power attack explosions, and of course Heroic Corpse and takedowns are the best. For the range specs, just select the 3 options for Scattershot, since this is going to be our main attack. There is nothing to elaborate on here, just go for it. The intrinsic specs are up to taste, but I like going for cost reductions and recharge speed instead of extra energy. This is because with a smaller bar, we will get to overcharge faster. On the overcharge spec, we want increased status and damage while overcharged, and of course getting additional intrinsic on range crits will help us out a lot. Finally, the mastery points should be spent on the usual suspects. We want both crit specs, then perk chance, heroic recharge and armor. Everything else can wait, believe me, because it has a far smaller impact on our damage and general builds. And that is it for the build, so let's jump and see it in action. I am fighting for my life against the command crawler here, and I apologize in advance for my untimely dodges. It's a bit of a hectic fight when exploding spiders are hunting you left and right, and I am a far better builder than I am a player. When it comes to play patterns for this build, we basically need to alternate our signature attack to apply Gamma with a barrage of Scatershot cosmic arrows that we will just melt everything on the battery side. The signature counts as a lot of hits for Berserker, so whenever you run out of damage buff, just fire a couple smoke arrows and you will be golden. Our Scattershot has really wide area of attack, so just get used to moving around when firing it and you will not struggle against any amount of enemies. Also keep in mind that intrinsic dodges and jumps are your best friend when it comes to avoiding conflict. Things will get hairy in the endgame content really quick, so if you feel overwhelmed, just teleport yourself away to safety and start over. Our Warp Arrow is also a great way to manage mobs, as you can pull them all to a single place, throw a smoke arrow and battery them to oblivion. And remember that the decoy will drop health orbs, so be sure to use it whenever you're running out of gas. That's it for today, so just enjoy the rest of the fight, and if you like the video, like and subscribe and be sure to share it with your Avenging friends. Thanks for watching!